don't care. Like,
well, that's what submission is. That's what submission is that you.
Down that I think everybody is at some point deserving to receive love and to be even into marriage if they do aspire for marriage.
I believe that society shapes how we view things and how we look at things in our life.
Make your own bed. And that's basically what Kevin Samuels is saying. His delivery is what people kind of throw people off. But basically,
aggressive or like violent, like where I think toxic masculinity is
no offense to men, that they also get this idea that, you know, women are just going to take care of them and everything is going to be like easy.
A domestic violence shelter, and he brought her up to be, you know, a $25,000.
Hell yeah, you need to judge in dating. It is what it is. You know, you can't not judge people just because you feel bad about it. Like, you need to know.
As much as I love my daughter, there are some harsh realities and some things that her mother and I teach her in order to help her to understand. And
like, I'm sure everyone knows a woman that, you know, had sex all the
What is going on, people? Welcome back to CKQ Podcast. I'm your host, Clement, and before we get into our schedule, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button to this channel for more content such as this. Words, sometimes hard to use. But let's get on to our scheduled program. We got the man, the myth, the legend. We got Simon in the building. Say what's up, Simon.
Damn, CKQ, you've been doing a whole heap of business over there, man. Damn, just check that intro. God damn. You've had everyone up in here. Appreciate you. I'm here. I'm here for you, and I will be here for you forever. That's how
awesome. We got the doctor.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You can find me here every Tuesday, like I said, on CKQ Podcast. Hit that like button, subscribe and share. You can see that's my offspring in the back, my son. I'm letting him sit in on a couple of the podcasts. He's 13. Let him hear what the real deal is, and I don't let him learn from school. He can learn with his daddy.
There we go. I like that. And we got someone who just slid into home base. Chris.
Hi everyone. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good week so far. You can find me here every Tuesday on CKQ Podcast and also on Instagram at The Blooming Ebony and on YouTube at The Blooming Ebony. Hope you enjoy the show.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing today? Good?
Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
Is that like a real like head full of hair blooming?
He's asking, is that a weave?
Is my hair? No, it's my hair.
What? Okay. So we're gonna get this show started. How you guys doing? How's everyone doing? Good? We are having a very interesting discussion, which I definitely like to expand on at some point in time. But for today, we are going to with a reaction video. Give me one. Fair use.
Yeah, you gotta confront yourself. You gotta ask yourself, why do I cheat?
Why do I need to lie to my woman? Why do I need to be honest with my woman and then ask her to accept me being a cheater? Whichever side you on. Why do I need multiple women? You got to confront yourself, and when you get to the root of it, you're going to realize that you don't actually need multiple women, that you don't actually need to sleep around, that you don't actually need to cheat, but in fact, you need to heal. You need to learn. You need to grow. You need self-discipline. You need self-respect. You need self-love. You got to heal what you're suffering from, the things that you refuse to confront. And when you're real with yourself as a man, that's when your life, as a man, you got to confront yourself.
What are your thoughts on that so far? Chris, let's start out with you. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Okay. I didn't hear it very well. My AC was on in the background.
What?
Yeah.
Chris, one
I
job.
only heard the very end. Sorry.
Okay, we'll go to Simon and then John, and then we might do one more reaction for Chris. All right, good. Simon, talk to me. What do you think?
Sorry, what was the premise of the video?
He was talking to men.
Okay.
What do you think of his message that he's giving to men?
I don't know. Anytime someone sort of pulls up anything like that, I don't get it. Like, because I've obviously like been in a marriage, so like it just seems kind of janky. Like it doesn't really resonate with me. You know, there's a lot of like we're in a different age, right? So people are putting up videos on TikTok, YouTube, all sorts of stuff just to get attention. But they're not really a complete person.
Okay.
So he doesn't really seem like a complete person to me, to be honest.
Interesting. Okay. John, doctor, talk to me.
All right, so I'm gonna always look at this from an evolutionary perspective mixed with a psychological perspective. Now, there's what the world wants you to do, but I'm still gonna maintain. I'm still not 100% convinced that a man is designed to even be in a monogamous marriage relationship. I'm not convinced of that. I'm not convinced of it. Even being a Christian, I'm not convinced of it. Because that I understand what where this came from with him, and he's probably speaking mainly from himself. I mean, I don't think he's done any type of real scientific research. I mean, this was probably a question he asked himself all the time, like, why is my woman just not enough for me? Because an argument can be made on either side. An argument can be made on either side, because there is a strong drive as a man for you to engage in sex. It's strong, and it's not any type of standard. Like a woman has standards before she ain't gonna go out there and let any man just touch her. Like, and I do, when I say touch her, I fucking literally mean put their hand on her anywhere, even the garment that she's wearing. What? But with us, it's not like that. I mean, with us, most men will let any decent, okay looking woman get very close to them. And we don't care. We don't feel threatened. Most men, majority of men. So we live inside this bell curve. Everybody operating in here is who I'm talking about. Them fucking anomalies that live on the outside, Simon, they don't have no say in what goes on inside the house. They go play out there. That's why they're outside the norm. So everybody that's normal, most men will let a woman get very close to them. And a lot of men will engage in sexual activity, whether it's oral sex or regular all-out sex, with a woman that they don't even know her name.
These are the facts.
So,
okay.
That's why I said what I said.
So, Tack, what's going on, my man? Do me a
What's
favor.
happening?
Do me a favor. We're going to rewatch the stream one more time. Everyone's audio is good. All right. So, do me a favor, guys. Mute your mic.
Watch it 2 times for Chris in the back.
Respect. You need self-love. You got to heal what you're suffering from. The things
on that keyboard, because
as a man, you got to confront yourself. You got to ask yourself, why do I cheat? Why do I need to lie to my woman? Why do I need to be honest with my woman and then ask her to accept me being a cheater? Whichever side you on. Why do I need multiple women? You got to confront yourself, and when you get to the root of it, you're going to realize that you don't actually need multiple women, that you don't actually need to sleep around, that you don't actually need to cheat. But in fact, you need to heal. You need to learn. You need to grow. You need self-discipline. You need self-respect. You need self-love. You got to heal what you're suffering from, the things that you refuse to confront. And when you're real with yourself as a man, that's when your life, as a man, you got to confront yourself.
You need. What's going on, Tack?
What's up? Good evening, everyone.
Good
Hey,
evening.
Tack, you was in my city.
Yeah, I was in your city. I wish y'all would call me Talk every now and then, because that's really how you pronounce my name.
I'm sorry. Talk.
Talk.
Say Talk.
Like TikTok?
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Every now and then, it'd be cool to be called.
Hey, Chase.
Huh? Yeah, I was in your city. Yeah, I love it. You know what I mean? But listening to this guy, that reaction video, man, he put somebody to sleep with all that bullshit he throwing at the wall, man. What?
I didn't even hear it.
Because it's everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
What do you mean?
If I was it'd be like this. If I was at the one of y'all, I come through and spray everything, I'm probably gonna hit one of y'all. So it's impossible for anybody to say he doesn't have a good point, because every fucking point there is to throw up at the dartboard. But at the same time,
What's going on, you black?
Huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, at the same time, though, I'm sure in there, all around there, once you scrape some of that shit off the wall, he's probably making a good point, because he named everything. There's just no context for me. For one, I look at it like this, man. I don't define men a particular way. There's not one definition of a man to me. So when somebody says a real man, come on, man, a real man, right? Like, we know what a real man is. I don't really look at it that way, because I done been around too many situations where, like they say, I'll give you an example. They say a real man will confront you and look you in your eye, and then if he's going to go to war with you, whether it be with his fists or whatever, that's how it would be. People say that's a real man. But then in society, when they fighting wars, they hit you from missiles and planes that they never see. They hit you with stuff you don't even know that's coming. So the idea of, what a real man is, what a real man does, some people, it ain't that they need more than one woman. They just need more than one physical body that comes with what a woman has. It ain't the woman in and of itself. Because I done been in committed relationships that lasted over 10 years. I know that's not a marriage, but a lot of these marriages are 5-minute drills. So I was in committed relationships that lasted over 10 years. And when I was cheating on those in those relationships, I wasn't stepping out with the woman because I needed all of those things that she didn't have. I just desired a little variety every now and then. That's all.
Something different. Okay. Chris, talk to me. What'd you think? Still muted.
I turned my AC back on. Can you hear it? Is it really loud?
A little bit, yeah.
Is it bad? A lot. Okay, 1 second.
John. Or Unique, you didn't hear it, right?
No, I didn't hear it.
Okay.
Hey,
John,
brother, what's up? You the only one that say hi to me.
Okay.
You didn't say hi to me. Hello.
Is that better?
What's up, sis?
That's much better. Yeah.
Sorry.
Talk to me. What you think?
That was a tough one. So I agree with Talk. He did say a lot in that video. And I do think that self-discipline is important. I don't think anyone should cheat, but I do think that oftentimes what we see is men will cheat not because the woman that they have isn't enough, but because the woman that they have isn't trying to be enough, and that's going to get me in trouble. I'm going to get canceled by women again. But basically, I do think that men have needs, women have needs, but I do think that it's important that women are meeting their men's needs. Oftentimes we see today a lot of women will use sex as a weapon, and they'll hold off, oh, you didn't help me with the dishes, so I'm not going to sleep with you tonight. And I'm talking about wives in particular, people who are married. And I do think that oftentimes the men will be tempted to cheat because they're not getting that from their wife, right? And it doesn't have to be necessarily just sex that they're tempted to do. It's just, even if their home itself isn't pleasant to go back to, at the end of the day, they're going to seek that from someone else, and that could then lead to extracurriculars, so I do understand what he's saying about self-discipline. I definitely think that's true. Men need self-discipline, but I do think that oftentimes we see a lot of couples who don't understand the duty, the responsibility that they have to keep their partners satisfied.
All right, that's interesting. So, when you say duty, what do you mean?
Her job.
As a wife and a husband, sex is a responsibility.
Absolutely,
it's a responsibility. So it's not like when you should enjoy having sex with your spouse, right? So it's not a duty in that sense, but you shouldn't be using it as a weapon. You shouldn't be doing, The
reason I say that is because I was in a marriage, right? My wife used to turn around to me and say, "You've got to fulfill your marital duties." So
All right then. Okay.
Oh my God!
I'm just saying it was a shocker to me because I've never.
Do most women on the low think like that?
Be asking for breaks.
Most women do most women think like that on the low?
What's a shocker?
A woman is very sexual, just like a man. They're just as sexual.
I think far more.
No.
So you get married. You get married tomorrow, right? And the guy stops having sex with you.
It's gonna be a damn problem. Chris be like, "Hey, excuse me, sir. Hey."
Well, women don't desire sex as much as men do. Men want sex 2 times more than women do. They think about it more than women do. We're not on the same level sexually, but women do crave intimacy. So oftentimes women want to be desired, and wanting to have sex with your wife shows that you're interested in her and that you're attracted to her and you desire her. So it's completely, that's why oftentimes it takes more to get a woman to the same arousal level because she has to know kind of throughout the day in a longer time span that you want to be with her romantically, and like, it kind of has to like warm up to it. It's not like bam, she's just ready to go. So it's more so that desire.
I
and
apologize.
that intimacy.
I apologize. That's kind of confusing. So, like, if you're with a guy, shouldn't you be on the same arousal level?
No.
You can, when you're there, but the way that women get there is different than how men get there. Like a man can just look at a woman and be like, okay, I want her now, and he's ready to go, right? But women don't typically act that same way.
That's kind of untrue because, like,
typically a man can look at a woman and think I'm sexually attracted to her.
Some but not. How about that?
A majority. A majority of men look
women,
at women.
look,
70%.
Not being funny,
exactly.
not being funny or nothing, and I'm trying to be totally I'm trying to be totally respectful, but you know there are stories about women giving it up in the back of garages, in the back of clubs, in toilet situations and all sorts. How does that happen if they need a certain level of arousal?
Oftentimes,
I know. One, she probably ran out of money, got a bill coming up. There's a drug that they're gonna exchange. If you do this quid pro quo situation, you understand where I'm going with this? You suck my dick back here and give me some of that ass, I'm gonna give you this line. I'm gonna give you this gram of cocaine, heroin, whatever your shit is. Where was the other place? I'm just telling you where they should be happening at. I mean, your inhibitions, but typically, I mean, and then it could be the one time where that Q Sweat came on, how deep is your love? And she got to thinking, you know what? He remind me of my best boyfriend, the one I missed over the summertime. I'm gonna fuck him right now in the bathroom. Come on, nigga. I mean,
I'm just saying, like, we're human beings, right? So, like, we do have this whole talk about men of this and women of that, and it's like at the end of the day, we are equally, I would say, equally as sexually proactive as each other. But
the way
there's this discrepancy about, oh, you know, sorry, Bloomy.
I think I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you go.
Yes, women can, and that's why I really don't like that statistic. Women can enjoy sex just as much as men do. But for most women, the requirements to get to that level of satisfaction are just higher than a man. So it's not that women don't enjoy it or anything like that, but a majority of, like, yes, there's a difference between, like, so that one's tough because right now there is, you know, we all know about the sexual liberation movement. There are a lot of women that are engaging in meaningless sex and they later regret it. So it's not like they're on a journey to having sex the way that men do, is what they have called it in the past. But they don't. It's more so like they have to like force themselves. Like they've kind of told themselves that's what they want to do, and they explore that option. But most women don't see sex the same way that men do initially. That has to kind of grow over time.
I don't want to bombard this, but I'm just saying, I think there's a significant difference. If you're going to be a wife, that there's a significant difference in that than just being a girlfriend or a bust down. Like, so what you're speaking on in terms of the iteration of the feelings and emotion that may transpire and come toward the understanding of what a female being is in a whole presence is a situation where there's a man and a woman coming together and they can appreciate that. But you do get these trailer trash girls out here, like, and they are doing bust downs in the back of the damn garage. And at the end of the day, it's like you can not do anything about that. I'm not saying you're that or anyone that you're talking about is that. I would see you as the epitome of femininity. there's a significant difference, and especially like you're young as well, which is crazy because we've never seen anything like that. So when we get older, young type black women that are trying to aspire to this, we're trying to drive them in a certain way to understand that that behavior is just not really appealing to the black man per se, or man in general. Like, you can get with a travel dude, that'll be your business. But I'm just saying, like, if you really want a man to hold you down, it's not that complicated. It really is not. You know, a man will go out their way for you and do anything and everything, literally kill themselves for you. If that's what you, if it was a case that, you know, we could form a family and be bonding and be a community and do everything outside of that. You know, sorry, CKQ.
No worries, man. Yeah, I wanted to get your thought out. But Unique said something pretty important. Unique, you actually want to say it out loud? I know you're over there looking young and everything, but you know, you gotta help us old people out over here, okay?
I swear to God, bro, you feel me?
Yes.
Looking good.
How old are you? God damn,
I'm
don't say it.
48 in November.
You wasn't supposed to say that out loud, damn it.
I'm proud of it.
31. She 31.
I'm proud
But
of
yes,
it.
Unique.
Yeah.
Proud of
Say
all
what
of
you-
you.
31 in my
Say what you're
mind.
gonna say. Say what you're gonna say.
All right. Let's see. So, a woman is like a car, like a cold car. Like, you come outside, it's like below zero, and you know you can't just get in and take the hell off. Most men can get in and take the hell off when it comes to sex. But women typically needs that warm-up time. You know, got to warm that car up if you want her to get to the same place as you. So that was my my take on it when I put it in the chat. That's what I was feeling. Like, you can't just, not everybody can just be like on like that. And if a woman is on like that, she's been thinking about it all day.
All day.
All
Like
day.
the best analogy that I've heard of that is women. Why am I getting an echo?
I don't know.
I'm getting an echo from someone.
Mm-hmm.
Women are like men and women are lawnmowers. A man is a push start. If you push, he's ready to go. A woman is like an old style lawnmower. You got to put the gas in, you got to pull it, push the button a couple of times, add a little bit more gas, pull the clutch, pull it. And then when it starts going, you can't just rip it because it'll cut back off. You got to throttle it. You got to keep it in slow, keep pressing down the bar, slowly start moving. It's a process, I swear. The process to start one of those old lawnmowers is longer than mowing the damn lawn. I swear to you. But that's what a woman is. The guys are real quick. Push the start. You'll be done real. I mean, it's no time flat. All right. Gone in 60 seconds. They made a movie about it. It was so quick.
Yeah, I mean, we got really nothing to think about.
But going back to what he was saying on that, all the way back, I agree with a lot of what he was saying.
Well, I used to be a host, so I can't disagree with what he was saying because I used to be the one busting their ass down in the back and all this other shit in the bathroom.
In the bathroom, in the toilet.
Of course, man.
But here's the thing. I think what he says pertains to those guys after they went through everything. I think you can say everything that he said to like a kid. Like, if you're talking to an 18-year-old who's never even kissed a girl and you're telling him you got to control yourself, you gotta be more sexually disciplined, you have to be XYZ, have all these rules and boxes and checks and marks, and he's like, man, like, no girl's even looking at me. I'm not even trying to get play. I just want someone to give me some kind of attention. You know, that's all. I would say a young man, that's all he's looking for, is someone to give him attention. And it's harder when you try to police young men to be stuck in this box, this rigid box, if they've never, if they see women out there going buck wild and they see all these guys are getting, you know, everything that they want, but you're sitting there looking at this kid and telling him, hey, listen, you gotta control yourself, gotta go work, you know, for the next 15 years, you keep your head down and you keep working, and after all that, maybe you'll get lucky. I don't know. It's a tough pill to swallow as a guy. What do you think?
I'll talk if no one else is going to talk.
Go for it. Go for it.
Depends what kind of guy you are. It comes back to the thing. It's like, how are you built? People are just built differently. You know, I didn't really have to experience that. But I do hear it a lot, like in terms of this thing about trajectory. As a young black man, you know, you earn a certain amount, like in your teenage years, then in your 20s, and you're supposed to build this up and understand that you're going to meet your wife when you're about 34. And then like you're supposed to like meet this 24-year-old that's just going to be like sprinkle Cinderella, come walking into your life.
And then happily ever after. That's it. Listen, man.
Listen, I'm quite happy to get rid of a 50-year-old. I don't give a damn. Like right now, I don't care.
Nah, bro. You know what?
I don't care. Like, I really don't.
You know what? Let's expand on that. Let's expand on that a little bit. I want to dig a little further into that. Why is that?
Because it means more that the woman has sense to me than just a pretty body. Like, you know, like the area I work in, I see a lot of pretty bodies, but their head is just out there. It's just like numb. And it's like, especially like this new generation, they're so entrapped in social media, video blogging, this, that, the other, whatnot, that they have no real connection to real life. And they're not even interested. And you can't really do anything about that. So it's just, you know, where you actually...
How would you find, let me say, because I believe that there are some, not a lot, but there are some out there that are, you know what? No, I would say there's probably a little bit more. That's optimistic. I'm gonna sound a little optimistic, but I think there's a little bit more than people expect. I think the loud minority is what everyone focuses on. But if you go out there and actually talk to a couple of people, talk to a couple of women, the young ones, some of them are not too bad. Probably a little ditzy, but not too bad.
Yeah, I totally agree. But the issue is we're not all we don't all get that pass, right? So you don't get that pass into that club, right? If you're gonna go golfing, you're not gonna get that pass into that club. If you're in a member society, you're not gonna get that pass into that club. You're not gonna meet the right women in the right situations. That's actually gonna be on your level. It's just not gonna happen because they don't even get that pass. So what happens is they're over there in the mess. Are you going to try and find them amongst the mess? Why do you want to do that?
I think the beauty of being a man, and because as men, we get to pursue. The best and worst part about being a man is that you get to pursue. So as a man, you get to choose your own destiny. You get to pick who it is that you want. You pick. She can only put herself in the situations, but you get to pick and you get to choose how everything is going to go for you.
Nick,
you've made all the decisions that she can only get on the boat or not. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, she will always get on the boat. This is the thing. She will always go on the boat innately. No, because listen, CKQ, you pull up a yacht tomorrow, people are going to get on that boat. Mm-hmm. You're going to have a party, right? how many people are privy to that? How many people do get that invite? How many people have, the private invite? So it's like, oh yeah.
So my question is, do you think the only good people are the ones that are able to afford a yacht and the people that are on the yacht? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't think they're the only good people, and that's the problem.
But that's what I'm saying is, it's how you're trying to locate these people is what the problem. Because I think that there are good people out there, and there are marriage-minded, marriageable people out there. It's that your surroundings.
Yeah,
it's the environment you're putting yourself in.
And this is why I love your podcast, because it's like you touch on these subjects. The fact of the matter is, it's like you can get with a girl tomorrow, right? And if she has not experienced being in a house with 2 bathrooms, she might be a bit afraid of that. And that's a problem. What? Like, it's like I could bring a woman into my life and like give her certain experiences, and she might be afraid of it. And I might be like, oh, I'm trying to sort of educate you. I'm trying to show you a better life. I'm trying to, do this with you and build a future and this whatnot. And she might just be like, I don't even know what the fuck you're. Sorry. I don't even know what this is, and actually you're scaring me. Like, so I'm gonna run, and I need to be in my own space, the space that I'm in. My family's over here. We're comfortable. Like, this is the life that I'm used to, and you're a stranger, and you're introducing me to this new life, which is kind of like wary. It's like I don't even know where you're making your money from.
Fair enough.
How are you doing that,
John?
All right, so
to me,
Simon made a really good point.
Let's hear it.
I didn't like his initial analogy was like, to me, a little bit off at first. That's why I was like, what the fuck? But then when he got into it, he was spot on, because I've experienced that.
Which
like,
is?
Well, what he's saying is this: now, my advice to a person like this, I'm not saying it's you, Simon, but I'm just saying, my advice to a person like that is you need to do some digging and some introspection and get some more self-confidence, because you are dating the wrong type people and you're barking up the wrong areas. Because if you're in this situation and you have X, Y, and Z, then you should be around other women who also either have had X, Y, and Z, or they know how to receive X, Y, and Z. Because you're dating a type woman who's gonna make you feel better about yourself and who you are, and that's not gonna necessarily fix the situation. And in the interim, it's gonna feel really good. You're gonna really feel like you that guy, and she's safe to a point, emotional wise. But later on, when y'all are so incongruent, it's not gonna work out. In the relationship, and the fights are gonna be climactic. They're gonna be to die for. I mean, niggas would probably watch this. They would probably, buy tickets to see one of the arguments. That's how bad the fights and arguments probably get.
So, Simon, say what it is that you're trying to say one more time, please.
All right. This is difficult. I do understand that, because most people just go through some normal.
No. Listen, I think here's what I'm hearing. A lot of times, you try to overlay things and preface and curate a message, and trying so hard to curate that message, the message gets lost. My platform,
we don't curating that message. I just don't never say nothing while we're live about it.
Fair enough. This is live, which I understand.
But Simon,
I'm vague on purpose, because I'm a law student and shit. so I've got to be
Okay.
vague on purpose. So
Okay.
like, what it is what I'm saying is I'll try to be as clear as possible, and I'll be as clear as daylight in about 6 months' time. But what it is listen, I experienced a relationship where the woman was with me, right? And she did not understand or could not comprehend the level of lifestyle I was living. So she came into the relationship wanting that lifestyle, but she did not come from that lifestyle. Okay. So when she stepped into that lifestyle, she didn't understand what it meant to uphold that lifestyle, because there's a completely different thing. So if you come from a background, you're saying you want something. It's like you could say, oh, I want a high value man, for example.
But
I want
you
a
don't
man
know how to receive that.
Right, exactly. So it's like,
you don't know what comes along with that.
This guy's got 100K in the bank. Oh, he's got this whole house with a piano in it. You know, I want this, I want that. Fine. Do you know how to actually do that? You know, there's a difference. Okay. So what I find is like a lot of women aspire to sort of be something, and not be something in the terms of employment, but in terms of their relationship. Like they aspire to be with a man who is in a certain type of situation, but they do not know how to actually deal with that when they're in that relationship. There's a complete, and that's why we have such high divorce rates, such high breakup rates. You know, you can do all the stuff beforehand, look pretty, get that guy. Can you actually stick? That's what we need to do as a black community. We need
like,
to
are
stick.
you willing to learn? Like, are you willing to learn? I mean, to his point, like if a guy's got XYZ in the bank, piano, baby grand, or whatever in his home or whatnot, he's got a whole different level of friends that he entertains. Do you know how to entertain his friends? Do you know how to be in their presence? Like, do you think it's okay if you come down in a short robe and your house shoes and his friends over there from the country club? Do you think that's all right? Like, how is that gonna put him? What kind of light is that gonna put him? Like, is that gonna shed any gossip on him? Like, are you gonna do him good always, or are you gonna embarrass him? Is his name gonna be positive amongst the elders of the village, or is it gonna be negative? Like, all of that is up to you. Do you go to cussing? You know, you cuss him out? You see, oh, they ain't nobody but his home. No. Leroy, Tank, and Junebug is his homeboys. Gerald Scott III and these motherfuckers are his potential business partners. That's a whole different thing. And do you know how to be Byron and then turn around and goddamn become Michelle Obama? Yes,
right. So
will I be joining you today, or shall I go into the bedroom?
This is the thing, and
that's what I'm saying. Like, do you know how to be that bitch? Do you know? Because you can probably fit in most spaces. But if you don't, and you can only be Byron, well, you need to stick with that nigga, with that level. Like, I'm cool. I'm at that level. Because I know how to keep your ass back at the crib, and I'm not going to bring you out when I'm doctor. You understand? But when I'm just on a podcast chilling with my homies and shit like that, or if I'm not having to do a special presentation, I'm ratchet. And I can deal with a Byron, right? But I can also deal with a Michelle Obama type.
Well, yeah, but this is the thing. Most of these, I'm not going to say most because I don't know. Because I have decent conversations with people. And most of...
Hold on to that thought real quick, Simon. Okay, cool. All right, hold on to that. I just want to...
Give me 2 minutes.
All right, perfect. Are you leaving? Are you walking away real quick?
No,
okay.
This is too interesting.
All right, guys, we're going to... Because it seems like the conversation is moving in the direction of this video, I'd like us to do a quick reaction to this video. All right, so fair use. This is by Tony Gaskins. Yeah, let's do it.
Standards got to be high. They say men gonna be lonely because women raising their standards good. Keep raising them, keep them up there. Because one thing that's true, and I got to be true about myself now. And when I recognize stuff in women, I'm real about that too. But one thing I know, with men, we're gonna do the bare minimum. We're gonna do the bare. I'm raising 2 boys. If I let my son sit on that phone all day, he gonna sit on that phone all day. If I tell him 30 minutes on that phone, then he'll stick to that 30 minutes on that social media. If I don't tell him that, he gonna use that phone. My 8-year-old, if I don't have him go play soccer, or his mama don't have him playing soccer or doing something, he will get on that phone and he'll be on that phone 8 hours. One thing about men, a man gonna do, and this could apply to women too, but I'm a man, so I'm speaking from this perspective. A man gonna do what he could get away with. So if a woman's standards high, guess what? Men gonna raise their standards and step to the plate. If women got low standards, if women have a low barrier of entry, a man not finna jump 10 feet if the barrier is only 3 feet. He finna jump 3 feet 1 inch and 3 feet and a half an inch to clear that hurdle. So a man gonna do what it takes. If women say, in order for a man to sleep with me, you got to cut off your right foot, 90% of men will have 1 foot.
Don, you're muted, buddy.
Hey, this man is only describing what type of man, all right? He's describing the type man that I intentionally raised my son not to be. And that is the mediocre man. The guy who does just enough to get by.
Okay.
That's not that so.
But what do you think of what he said though?
I'm telling you what I think of what he said. That's what he just said.
Men will always do the bare minimum.
That's a mediocre nigga. A mediocre nigga will do the bare minimum.
Is that the majority?
You know what he just said? He said
the majority of men
doing the bare minimum. Because how you gonna lead somebody? You doing the very bare minimum. I'm not gonna follow your bare minimum leading ass. You a minimum wage worker. I'm not following you. You doing the bare fucking minimum, just enough to get by.
Okay.
Like we had a project, he would make us have a 60, even though we could get 100 just because he's doing just enough to get by.
Just enough to get by. That's right. He'll do 60%, just enough to get by because that's a pass. And to him, that's good enough. Hell no.
I passed.
Right. I mean, if you a provider and a protector, nigga, you got to put yourself in different spaces to be a provider because shit changes. Like you got to be able to step up and make more money at times. So when you have to make more money, look, we've come to this where we are right now. We know that a woman is not as sexual as a man, but she enjoys sex just as much. But we know a man, we love sex, but the woman got to be available, right? So as a man, if you want her to be available, you need to make enough money so that she don't have to worry about the bills. And then she will be available to you. Do you understand?
But that's only one checkpoint, in my opinion.
Well, that's one. It might just be one check. Of course, you gotta all the others. I'm talking about this is the problem.
The biggest
with these two incomes. This is a problem. Nigga, you don't make enough money. End of discussion. You probably did enough in school just to get by. You had no aspirations, and you gotta be comfortable, learn to be comfortable with possibly being uncomfortable. Nigga, when you have a kid, you don't get to say, well, I don't want to do that. Nigga, you can't do what the fuck you want to do. You ain't in no position to do what the fuck it is you want to do. Because you can't have her want to got them legs for you, and she's been working all fucking day to help you pay your bills.
Oh my God.
You gotta fucking pick and choose. You gotta go and do something different so you can do something different. And when you do something different, she can come out of the workforce.
Ain't nobody
When you get more fucking money, then she don't have. Now you got access to her ass again. Oh, now she feel like a wife. Oh, now she feel like a fucking woman. She got time to get her nails done. She got time to fuck with her hair. Guess what she got time to do now? She got time to fuck you. Damn, it's just as simple. You want it? Put her in a position where she can be fucking feminine.
The majority of men are just bare minimum guys. Oh, sorry, Unique. Go ahead. Preach.
I just had to add on to my brother. That is simple. That's it.
Okay. Anyone else?
I agree with them, but I agree with the video. I think, if a woman, so I do think that what Dr. John was saying was 100% true, and I think that's one major issue that we see today is all the 50-50 stuff. It's creating a lot of issues. But at the same time, if a woman says, "Oh, I'll work. I can do the extra 50-50," why would, like, very rarely would a man be like, No, I'll don't worry about it. Like, I'll work. And if she insists on working because she thinks that's the way that it's supposed to be, he'll let her because there's less things that he has to worry about. So I do think that if you don't, as a woman, if you don't set a standard that you want to live in traditional gender roles, you will probably end up with a man that's going to keep you in a 50-50 position. So I agree. I do think that a woman's standards have to be, she has to have her requirements to a certain degree. And I know the word requirements creates like a whole spiral. I'm not saying like he has to make 6 figures, but if you want that, you have to require it.
So do you think right now in the day and age that we're in, women have lowered their standards too much? So women need higher standards. Okay.
Yeah.
Tap, what are you thinking? Your smoke's coming out of your ears over there, bro. What's going on?
There's a lot of movement where I'm at, so I gotta keep my eye.
Top got his head on the swivel.
Stay
man.
vigilant. He's on the swivel.
That's why Top moved a couple of times. He ain't like now one of them damn spots where he was at. He was like, I can't get rested right here.
Absolutely. But anyway, because I'm back in Chicago, I ain't in Baltimore no more.
Oh,
yeah. So, I mean, what I tell my daughters is your competition ain't greatness. Your competition is mediocrity, because the majority of the population, not only males, but in the context that we're using it, Doctor is absolutely right. But the majority of the population is mediocre. The majority of the population will do what it takes. I think what separates a lot of people is where you come from, how you was made. Then that might speak to how far you might go. Some people might be born with that innateness to go a step further, but the majority of people, is probably taught to them. It's probably environmental. I know for me, I don't recognize a triggered gene that makes me wanted to do more as a shorty, as a young, and as a teenager. For me, it was about Project Survival. It was about understanding that there was several things going on at the time. We was poor. I wasn't going to listen to adults no more. I'm damn sure ain't going to school. I've been ducked in church. So I still had to eat though. I still wanted to do those normal things that human beings want to do. So I had to step up to make that happen, right? And a lot of people do, not even from that background, wherever you might be from. And so, yeah, I agree. In terms of women working, raising their standards and all that, women in a different position than what they used to be. This ain't you have babies, hold it down at the house, and I go work at the steel mill. That's over with. And a lot of these women, many of these women, they not only have the benefit of pleasuring themselves, but they can get their best friend to pleasure them and all kind of stuff. It's in terms of the sex and the physicality of things, man, they can weigh it in and lean it on whichever side they want in terms of that. And it ain't that many people in the Black community making six figures if you look at any of the stats. You know, everybody on YouTube is making six figures. That was surprised.
Everybody on YouTube? What are you talking about? Am I missing a check? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, me
seems to be making six figures, right? But once you leave YouTube, it don't seem that way. When I was in Baltimore, I was talking to one of my nephews, and he wanted to get into day trade, and I told him get 25, 35,000 together, and you know we can make some money together. I'll show him what's what, and he was like, "Damn, Mom, I ain't got it like that." I say, "Why you don't just sell some of them shoes and belts that you say cost $8,000 on your IG post?" You know, and he just laughed. But nah, I agree with the doctor. I think it's a consensus among that in terms of mediocrity, man. It don't take much to separate yourself from that. If that's what if you realize yourself, it just doesn't take a whole lot. So
yeah. So E-Black, official Soul Tie, you guys in the chat, you know, obviously the link is at the top. If you guys have time, click join the conversation. If not, would love for you guys to come on the panel again at some time. Official Soul Tie will definitely get you guys back on here. Love everything you guys have to say. What's up?
No, I just wanted to add one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dude, John, man, this dude put me to sleep, man. That dude, who he talking to? Where he get these people? Where he talking to? Nickelodeon. His target audience must be grown men from Nickelodeon or something, man. Because
his like 90% of his base is women, actually.
Oh, okay.
Women, yeah. Yeah, he has a pretty large
not
following.
connected with me. That's probably it. Don't do nothing for me. I'm listening to this dude, and I'm like, hold on.
But so, you don't think his message has any kind of validity?
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm gonna say what I said the first time.
Yeah, he takes female time.
I'm sorry. He said grown men from Nickelodeon.
His message is so broad. His message is so broad in general. He can't miss it being. He can't. Two things he can't miss. He can't miss a lot of it being correct, and he can't miss a lot of it being BS because it's so broad, general, and open.
I mean, he probably was raised
He's saying everything and nothing at the same.
He was probably raised by his mother, and he gets a lot of he wants that female attention from his audience. That's why he really is placating to the female. Like he's not really saying anything a man is going to connect to. Like 90% of his listeners have to be females because me, I'm going to disagree with it.
I'm saying to myself, he should be fine with all that.
Like niggas, I'm not finna cut my fucking foot off to get some man because I know. Here's the thing. So when I say you
don't think there's a majority of men that would though?
Yeah, it might. Yeah, they call they Simpson lane. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not in that. I'm not in that
man,
fucking group.
You know he's not talking about you. Come on, man.
He ain't talking about you neither.
They be walking around.
Because I know. He ain't talking about my little man when he get older. That's a fact. Because, bro, like, do niggas understand value? So let me explain it to all the niggas in the back. When you have a lot of something, it is not valuable. It's scarcity is what produces value. Niggas are way more valuable than women. What the fuck? It's 6 times a fucking amount of women in this fucking earth than it is men. Meaning, my boy, you have a large pool to pull from. They don't. We're rare. When you separate, I want this type, I won't have this type, you need to make this much, can't never have done this, and then you take all the niggas that's in prison. Nigga, you talking about you a fucking unicorn, dude. You are fucking valuable as fucking hell. So why in the fucking shit would I cut my goddamn foot off when I can go fuck Sally over there, who will probably pay by the condoms and dinner. Oh my God. And me some new shoes for them 2 good goddamn feet I got. I'm not gonna cut my foot off to fuck your ass. Why? Let me go see what the bitches on the west side talking about. Cause you talking crazy.
What if all of them?
Oh, they saying the same shit. Let me go see what the bitches on the south side saying. Oh, look at here. It's only 22 men out here and there's 180 fucking women. Let me ask every one of them if they gonna make me cut their foot off for some ass. Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. Can I please borrow a piece of pussy without cutting my foot off? Yes, baby, you can. You sure? Yes, I mean, you real cute.
Oh, boy.
I don't eat much of that. Will you buy me some shoes? I ain't got, but just I'll clean you up, baby. All right, then. And there you have it. Now I had to go all over the city. But I found me a woman. I ain't have to cut my goddamn feet off. And I got me some shoes, got some food. Do you see where I'm going with this, man? You gotta know your own fucking value,
But
man.
this whole thing is, again, a majority of men don't. You're talking to a society of men that have been demasculated since birth, essentially, right?
Yeah.
And they don't know their worth. And a good majority of them that were raised by, I would say the good majority that were raised by single mothers expect a woman to be working herself to the bone.
Because that's what they seen their mama do.
That's what they seen. That's exactly what
and
they
they mama tell them shit like, my son ain't gonna do that. My son ain't gonna take care of no goddamn other man's children. And my son.
And I think a lot of the times that when people say, you're raised by a single mother, I think that's the valuable thing that's lost. Because I would say men that are, a lot of times the players are the men that they're raised by single mothers.
There you go.
Like those are usually the best players. Extremely affectionate. They know how to
learn that game.
They've learned the game.
Read that body language.
But the biggest downside to that is they require a woman to be straining herself. That's the only way they know a woman's role. That's how they see a woman's role being. Versus having a man and woman in the house, you see a man's natural role and a woman's natural role. They're moving in their natural roles. So he is talking to a good majority of men. No, I agree with him. I agree with him that a lot of people do the bare minimum. And listening to that, I thought to myself, okay, women are following him for a reason. All right. Obviously, he's a handsome guy, but women are following him for a reason. He's saying a message that men aren't hearing. And I think if men learn to cut out that, I don't want to listen to him, what he's saying doesn't have any validity, there could be some kind of truth behind what he's saying. For example, me personally, I suck when it comes to listening and being like an affectionate person. That's not my strong suit. But I also do the bare minimum in that exact category. I don't put much effort into that category and I say, I just suck at it. No, you don't just suck at it. You're just not trying at it. If you could keep doing something for so long, eventually you stop sucking at it. You're just going to be okay.
Yeah. I had this whole conversation with someone today about the fact that I am just who I am. Like, I might be brilliant at things. I might be brilliant at what you'd like me to be brilliant at. Mm-hmm. So that's the attraction factor. Mm-hmm. So, like, when someone's attracted to you, what happens is they notice the things that you're brilliant at. But then there's the other side where it's like I do have this point where I have my own things going on in my own house. Like I have my routine. I like to come in at a certain type. I don't like cats. I don't like dogs. I might like cats. I might not. Like there's the other side. So as human beings, what happens is we interact, and it's kind of interesting in terms of you're trying to attract someone, right? Does this person get you? What does that mean? get you. It's not that complicated. What happens is you fit. So, like with my ex-wife for 10 years, so this is not just me giving some mediocre example, we fitted. And that meant when we was in the bedroom, we fitted. Her body was like boom, boom, boom. I was just like, we fitted. That was the first stance as a man, visual interpretation of what it meant for a woman to be in the same space that I was in that predicament. Because if I was going to marry her, I was thinking for life. So realistically, as a man, what a man thinks is that they need an interpretation of a woman to be there for life. If they're gonna like be in a marriage, right? This is not a relationship. Relationships are just bust down situations. I'm not talking about that. Anyone can have a bust down situation.
Not a bust down. It's the bust down.
Like whatever. Back door. Boom, boom, boom. Whatever. I'll see you on your. Nah. If you want to get into a marriage, you need to understand. Listen, there are plenty for women out here, and they walk around with their weight and stuff, right? And Kevin Samuels was not being disrespectful by telling you, men are not looking for that, because men do actually think about things in a long-term perspective. So I'm just going to try and sort of put this across in a subtle way. As I said, my interpretation and my life experience was my wife was not like that. Okay, and I'm going to pull her up probably in about 3 months' time. She looks like a freaking supermodel. Okay, the reason why I ain't gone live with her, although I've been live and all types of shit, is because I respect her like that. She looks like a freaking supermodel, right? That's just my interpretation of things, because I live like that. Okay, nothing to do with nobody. I'm not trying to put my life on anybody. We're up here on these YouTube streets, we're talking and we're busting it out, we're having conversations and this, that, whatnot. People
Simon,
take it so damn seriously.
Simon, do you think you did the bare minimum?
In what regard, sir?
In your marriage?
Bare minimum?
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
I'm not your honest question. I'm not trying to come after you.
I'm gonna speak because I've got nothing to hide. So what is like, with my wife, she was so pretty. That's all she was paying attention to, right? So I took care of her laundry. I took care of the cooking. I took care of our household. I took care of our kids, because at the end of the day, I was more concerned about us having a more fulfilling marriage and arguing about bullshit. And what I find is, like, a lot of men that pull up on these YouTube streets have some bullshit to talk about. Like, oh, you've got to pull up a plate. Oh, you've got to do this. Oh, you've got to do that. As a woman, in this modern day and age, that's not happening. Not happening. Yes, sir.
John? In my house, because there's this thing called standards and requirements.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I require of you.
Correct.
And you're going to do as I require of you, because like I said, when I was joking around, your ass can be replaced. It's way more of them. I chose you, but I can find you again. The numbers are with me. The numbers are in my favor. The numbers are way in my favor.
They're not.
If it's more women than men, the numbers are in my favor.
That's not.
I have the numbers. She don't have the numbers.
No,
I can find another one of her faster than she gonna find another one of me.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
I'll tell you why. Do you want me to tell you why?
Please, you can try, but I'm not gonna agree with you.
You don't have to agree with me, sir.
Women, and I don't care about them.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
You don't find good women again.
You don't have to agree with me, sir. What I'm saying to you is, right?
I'm hearing.
You're gonna find a woman that is your perfect partner or your whatever, okay? And you can do whatever you want. But the fact is lightning does not strike twice, right? So at the end of the day, like when that woman comes into your life, you could try and make her conform to your bullshit, but you gotta acknowledge.
But
it's
see,
your,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
I know my word.
It's your
It's
way.
my bullshit. That's my way. Period. It's my way. That's what I want.
What I'm
You
trying
see
to
what I'm
tell
saying?
you. What I'm trying to tell you is, in this modern day and age,
I don't
is
want to
like-
hear about no modern day and age. The women still want the same fucking things: protection, provision, leadership. That's what they want. They want protection, provision, and leadership. And they're gonna want it. They wanted it millions of years ago, and they want it today, and they want it moving forward. Protection, provision, leadership. Protection, provision, leadership. And when they find that man,
I don't
they act
disagree
different
with that.
around that man.
I don't disagree with that. I
But
don't.
they don't need, when they find that man who has that confidence to move like he moves, they do not respond to that man the same way that they responded to all them other niggas. Some
Why?
women you think
Okay,
that they
so-
don't damn
so
tank, girl,
why-
what's that into you?
Why
What
do you think that
why
is?
You so dope,
Why do you
domestic?
think that is? Why do you think that is?
Because for me, it's because I have requirements.
Yes, it's the requirements, man.
It's
you
the
cannot,
requirements, bro.
You
I'm
cannot let
telling you,
anyone live rent
this is,
free.
if you want to be
Like,
with me, I need this, this, and this. I'm gonna do this, this, and this. Period. Now, if you don't want that,
right?
why?
You know, this is the
hold
problem.
on, hold on, Simon. Let me just say something real quick. I think you ever heard? I'm pretty sure everyone's ever heard of like a shit test. Women shit test guys. Women do that so that they know that the man that they're with is still the man.
Yep.
He still has some, like, he's not going to allow her to run him over, because she wants to know that he's not going to get run over by anyone else out there in the world.
Yep.
He's the protector. So every now and then she has to make sure. Wait, does he still have his fangs? Like, is he still have his claws? Like,
right.
If she's not doing something and you just let that go, and she stops doing more, and all you just do is take up after, she just says, okay, well, I can just walk all over it. Like, I can't take it away from you. You know, not you personally, but I'm saying just in general, you cannot allow anyone, not just a woman, anyone to just walk all over you.
Yeah.
And especially because when it comes to women, they perceive it as weak.
Can I say something? You finish?
Yeah, go ahead. Unique. Let's play.
I believe that I believe like some of Simon, and I believe some of John. I believe like both of them are like right in a little bit, like they to the extreme. You know, I feel like he went to the extreme. Like if all she was doing was looking pretty, then no, I don't think so. She was running it. But then you also can't go overboard to the other side, because I feel like men and women should share stuff too. Not saying that, oh, the stuff that's supposed to be taken care of and y'all decide what's to be taken care of, be taken care of. I'm saying that y'all need to discuss. Y'all need to be on the same accord. Y'all need to not lie to each other. Y'all need to always be telling the truth. Like, y'all need to be more than just, oh, I'm the protector and the provider, and you just stay home. Like, you need more than that. You need some of the shit, like he was saying, like you need to take up some of the slack sometime when she don't want to.
After a conversation's had, not if she knows she's supposed to have that and she decides to drop the ball and you just pick up after. When there was if there was no conversation had, she dropped the ball and you just pick it up and just, we're not going to talk about it like nothing ever happened, then yeah, that's disrespectful. And yeah, you say something about that. I'm not saying you're a tyrant. I'm saying you speak about the uncomfortable things. And that's a hard thing to do in relationships. That's very hard. That's very hard to speak on the uncomfortable things. But sometimes, listen, if you're a partner and someone you're going to be sharing the rest of your life with, your bed sheets and everything, the person you're going to trust when you close your eyes and wake up, that they're going to still be right there, you got to be able to talk about, hey, like, why'd you do that? Like, was there a reason? Did you not feel good today? Like, oh, I just didn't feel like it. Like, all right, we should
gotta know that was what you was expecting, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all keep falling for this fucking bullshit y'all hearing on these faces, and I'm out here in these streets, and I'm telling you what these goddamn real women are saying, bro. Y'all listen to niggas that's a loud ass minority, but I'm out here in these streets, bro. I'm telling you what these damn women is talking about. They don't want no pussy ass nigga, man. They don't. They ain't never wanted one. They never will want one. Ever. They just don't.
All right.
They want you for a season.
Doctor.
Until you are broke. And once you're broke, you know, I'm gonna finish my point. Once you're broke, you're used up, you're useless. You can't have no, if that shit work in y'all relationship, if y'all sit down at the table, it just will not ever work for me. It just don't. You understand? Like, I manage expectations. Out the rip. Before like the moon.
She can't do anything. Like she can't be in on anything. Like it just has to be only your decisions. Like y'all can't talk about shit. The
woman that I marry will already have that understanding, and it ain't for nobody else to have a definition of what that looks like. She will already know.
That question, like, what's the problem with being able to share things and talk to your partner, the person?
There is nothing wrong with that.
And her being able to help and have input on decisions that's going on in your life because it affects her too. Like
that's understandable. I just make I have the final word.
Okay.
We speak about it, you know.
We talk about it, but I make the final say. If she's on the fence, I'm gonna pull the trigger.
But that's what I mean.
And sometimes we're gonna be on the same accord, and sometimes I'm gonna have to do a little selling and be like, "Look, boo, this is a good thing. You just gotta, just support me on it." And if you got the right woman, she gonna be like, "All right, I trust you. Period." And then that's that. Everybody be acting like, "Oh my God," like a man gonna lead your motherfucking ass to death. I don't know no in the history of husbands of normal motherfuckers. I don't know no nigga who done led his goddamn wife off to fucking death, and just if it was because of that submissive shit. Look at that submissive shit. You see, them miserable ass women be trying to get you to believe that shit is what it is, when actual it's they miserable ass coming around your fucking organized house. Y'all niggas running like a well-oiled machine, and she bring her miserable ass in there talking about, "It wouldn't be me. It would not be me." Look at that shit. You gotta pick up. You gotta ask permission.
Go ahead.
Gaskins is kind of like Jackson, like Jax.
Okay.
To me, in the sense of you say he have a lot of women followers, more women are watching him. It seems like he's pandering to the women. He's talking more about their points than y'all points a little bit. He's putting the men down a little bit. So to me, it sounds like he's just pandering to the women so he can make the money because he know that's where the money at. It's more of us. We more in those higher positions. We making some money. So that's what he's doing. He's doing his target audience.
Wait. What's pandering got to do with money making?
You pander to the people that pay the bills. Like, what do you mean?
So the woman's paying the bills.
They pay his bills.
But listen, I'm telling you, the minority got these women out here drinking this shit.
I'm talking about his show.
Super chats for the money.
His show. He is pandering in his show so he can get more subscribers like Jackson. And he was like Jax was touring. Now he don't do much. Jack was touring the country making money, pandering to women. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. He's just picking up the slack because Jackson ain't making it no more. So somebody else coming out. Just like Ace Metaphor. He's another one. Anybody heard of Ace Metaphor? He do the same thing.
Come out with some shit that they want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I'm lie to that ass. I'm gonna let them pay me to lie to him.
Man, I could do the same thing.
Quiet. What are you thinking?
I don't know what the fuck I believe.
Chris, what are you thinking?
That's just weak.
I agree with you, Clement. I agree with what he's saying. I honestly think that he's talking to the average guy. Like, I agree. I understand what Nick was saying. Like, what someone was saying was like extreme, and I hope you don't take this personally, Simon, but more like passive male. And then Dr. John's side was like super masculine, like more dominant male.
Yeah.
But most men just kind of fall somewhere in the middle. Like, And I think the guys, when he's talking, I think that he's probably talking more so to those men. I think women watch him more because he's not unattractive. His tone is fairly soft, where women can kind of absorb the information. And women are typically very interested in men and what men are being told, and hearing that message of, telling men to do better is much better for women than hearing things like, women, you need to do better, and men are your leaders. Like, it's more digestible. But I do think that his message more so lies with the average man who's just trying to meet the average woman and trying to figure out, okay, how do I get the best of what I can get? And it's like, well, you do that by doing a bit more than what you've been doing, right? Because if you don't like your options right now, if you do this, you could have a much larger pool. And it's the same thing for women. If you increase your standards a bit more, if you put a little bit more effort in, you could have much better results. So I understand what everyone's saying, but I do think that his message will probably stick more with the men who are a bit more like on the passive side, who are just trying to, they may be more traditional and they want a certain type of life. They just don't know how to get there, and they don't know what women are expecting of them. So I think he's kind of just relaying that message in a way that's digestible. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Tack, I think you wanted to say something. It's a good point.
No, it's a good conversation, man. I think everybody had something to say that had truth to it. I think the guy got a lot of valid points. I don't have nothing against it. It's just that I can't sit up there, because 15 more minutes of that shit, I'm gonna be asking him, is he gay or something? I can't do that shit.
Wait,
You know what I mean?
Who's Tack talking?
Oh man,
I can't take a nigga.
Who's
can't
Tack
take a
talking
man
about?
in front of me with that type of fucking laying that shit out like that. But now that y'all inform me what's going on, he putting the women down with the game. Okay, I get it. That's why I don't.
CKQ, can you just clarify who Tack is talking about? Just so I'm clear.
The video that we watched.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But now that I know the context, I'm sure, like I said, he has so much to say every time. How could he miss? He's speaking to them with a damn Uzi. How could
why would you say gay? Like, why do black people always point to like that thing?
I didn't know black people always did that.
Well, they did it with Kevin Samuels all day long. Like,
You're
every
muted,
time,
bro.
sort of.
I mean, but why not? It's not special. No one questions when they point to black men, heterosexual men. So if he says, then I'm gonna ask you if you're gay, something that is abnormal. Then that's fine. It's fine. It's not protected. It is on the plate for judgment, slander, ridicule, all of that. If a woman can be ridiculed about being married to a man, then also a lesbian can be ridiculed for being married to a woman. A homosexual can be ridiculed. It is fair game for everybody. I'm just saying.
It's not ridiculed.
That's called inclusivity. We're being inclusive at this point. Okay?
I understand.
We are including everybody in the rants. Everybody got to get it.
Everybody get it.
And your ass is up next. You and all your goddamn pronouns, okay? Every one of you. The if, them, there, when, what, x, them, zop, zip, and all y'all motherfuckers on deck.
I'm just saying, all I was just trying to put across is that it doesn't happen in other communities. Like us as black people, we're always doxing each other and trying to go, oh, just because we don't understand what you look like, you're gay. Like, this is some crazy fuck shit, okay? Like, it doesn't happen within the Chinese community, Italian community, white community, whatever you want to call it. Why do we do
I think
this?
it does. I think it does.
All right.
I think we
an example, bro.
I think we just decide to hop up on video, or we video everything that happens to us. I think we as a community are very fractured and don't know how to work together and keep things sometimes in house. But I think it happens in every community, bro.
So, can you give me an example?
Example of what?
They keep more things in house.
The gay thing. So it's like.
Okay, so you know what? You keep talking. I'm gonna pull up a video. I got a video for you.
All right, go ahead. I ain't gonna say
No. Go ahead, Tack. I gotta look up the video.
I understand now why that bother him so much.
Don't do that.
Chris, you look. You got
You
something.
can if you want, but goddamn.
I mean, you wanna do a whole. I mean, why is that queuing you up so much? Why they don't roll off you like? You know, what's the deal with that?
Because it's unspoken of. So.
I mean, but you stay on. How does that affect you? You want me don't say that no more when I'm on?
It sounds like it's affecting you more than it's affecting me.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what I was trying to say. Like, I respect you. Like, I don't know. Like, what I was just saying is, like, in terms of the black community, we generally have.
I'm not gonna speak for the black community, though. I said.
All right, if you want to go, look, I was trying to be nice. Okay, cool, whatever. All right, go and talk. I mean,
you stuck on that word. Don't lose no sleep.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead, Unique.
No, I was just saying hello to Carl. We got somebody new.
Hey, what's going on?
What's poppin', Carl?
Not much. Just a little late, but better late than never. So what's up?
Better late than never. That's very true. You know what?
What's
We're
up,
gonna
Doc?
hop
What's up,
into
everybody?
Hey, what's going on, bro? What's happening?
We're going to Carl, what do you think of what you've heard so far?
I just walked in the door.
I mean, did you wipe your shoes?
No, I'm trying to direct somebody in the rain headed on a highway because they don't know the route. So.
Oh, okay. You working?
You know, I get paid to do a lot of things.
And real quick, then we'll do the reaction video while I'm looking for that.
Yeah, come on, let me play catch up.
Fair use. This is why good men don't marry girlfriends. All right, so fair use.
There's another girl that's right.
Why good men don't marry girlfriends.
I'll be doing more of those things. What you're saying is, I have to marry you, make you my wife, in order for you to start doing wife things. I mean, I'm just a girlfriend. Okay. Okay. Trigger, you want to marry me?
Yes,
Why?
because you a provider, a protector. You watch out for me. I love you. Why would I not want to marry you?
I appreciate that. I love you too. So what you're saying to me is, those are the things you want your husband to do.
Yes.
So you see your husband in me.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So the things I'm doing right now, even though I'm not your husband, you want your husband to do. And the crazy thing is, that's just who I am. Not because this is what I feel like I have to do. I do it because that's who Jeremy is. I'm already a husband. I'm just not your husband yet.
Why good men don't.
Thoughts? Carl, start us out since you just wiped your.
I like that layaway program. I'm already a husband. No, I get it though. Hey, I'm kind of conflicted because I thought about a lot of things myself. You want the relationship, you want the guarantee, you want the stability, you want everything, but you have to temperament. How long are we supposed to allow it to happen? Because you ever hear people, I know somebody right now, they've been engaged for 8 years, living together, this, that, and the third, but the dude is still legally married. So it's like, how long do we allow the engagement? How long do we allow before you get yourself together to be the man you're supposed to be and be a provider or protector and so on? It's too much layaway program, so it's a temperament.
What? You said it's a layaway program? What does that mean? What you mean?
It's a layaway program because the rightful order is we meet, we have conversation, we go out on dates, yada yada, and then eventually we see if we can live together. So, all right, we'll shack up together and see if we can take up each other's habits, and then we propose, and then we get married. The problem with that is since we, as Black folks, forgot about the word tradition, we're now at this. Does that go for a year, 2 years, 5 years? Some people took it as 10 years. And it never amount to anything because, and I'm going to take this back to the DMX syndrome, as I call it. You've been engaged to a man, you got a baby with a man, and then when the man dies, you're just a girlfriend, a baby mama. You don't get no benefit, no legalities, nothing. So the layaway program has to be temperamented and understand that the long one versus the now.
Okay. I think let's get everyone else. Unique, what do you think?
I think he had a little bit of a point as far as like how he's been practicing already. Why can't she practice? Is that was the purpose? Like
that's what he was alluding to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, well, I already been practicing as a husband. How come you can't do this because you ain't a wife? Yeah. Because sometimes you don't want to just go. You want to show them that yes, you can be the person, the wife, but sometimes you don't want to go to the point to where they think like they don't have to marry. So maybe some women feel like if I'm doing the things as a wife and we're not even married, why should he marry me? He's already getting it. He's already.
That's the comfortability level on both sides. Male and females do that.
Yeah, but the same. But the thing about it is, you fucking it.
Yeah.
You fucking him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if you fucking him, that's probably gonna ruin it for you quicker than goddamn you washing and cooking. Matter of fact, the cooking and the fucking cleaning will probably keep his ass there more than the coochie. I'm just throwing that out there.
Just the comfortability itself. Because people are scared to be homeless. They're scared to pay bills by themselves. So why not have a living roommate without the piece of paper?
It's actually real. I mean, this is the thing. It's like most women don't want to acknowledge that. It's some basic stuff like cooking, cleaning. I had a whole conversation about someone on the other day. I talked to a lot of people. I'm not saying any names, but I was like, are you up for it? I can do everything. So it's like, I can provide all the resources and whatever you need to do, whatever situation you're in. She's like, look, I ain't ironing. I'm like, okay. So I need to iron? So wait a sec. We're getting married, right? Who's going to be doing the ironing? Do I need to hire someone to do the ironing?
Yep.
What's the point of me marrying you then? Why can't I just marry the person who's doing the ironing?
Strength and weaknesses, because the woman is marrying a guy that's not good with money. So she's going to have to take up the budgeting aspect of the marriage. It's about accepting each other's weaknesses and strengths. You don't know that until you're actually living together. And then you got to decide if you're going to sign up for it or not. So you can't hold that against a person.
Go ahead, John.
But see, that's why you gotta be with the type person that works for you. Like, you shouldn't be you should know already that this woman is not into certain things. Y'all should have had this conversation like when y'all first met. before wasting a whole bunch of fucking time. I say shit like I'm like it's just that fucking simple. Don't focus so much and get caught up on what she look like, because everybody gonna look. Ain't nobody gonna look like they did at 25. Nigga.
Hell no.
5 years later.
Hell no.
Sorry.
Real quick,
don't work like that.
Everyone on the panel, do you guys all believe in living together before marriage?
Definitely.
Show of hands. Show of hands.
Yes.
You ain't got to
live together before marriage. Live together. So
oh yeah.
You'll
be guys believe. So you guys think the proper way? So Carl, you were saying the proper way. The black community got it wrong. The proper way is still living together before marriage, but they both have to show each other husband and wife qualities for it to actually work out.
That's the whole purpose of it, because like I said, me and Neat, we can be good as a couple where she live and I live where I live. But the moment you live together, you see things that you didn't see until you're around the person every day, habits, different things. Like I said, I'm gonna use me as an example. I don't do dishes. I cook my ass off, but I won't do dishes. So whatever woman walks in this house, yeah, you're gonna have to do some dishes. But if you don't do them, I'm not gonna miss out on the best woman I ever had because she don't do dishes. I guess I'm gonna hire a housekeeper.
But Chris, she tell you that she don't do dishes. She ain't gotta live with you for her to know that you don't do no dishes.
No, but see, this is what I'm saying. She wouldn't know that unless she was living with me, because coming to see me, spend time, whatever. That's not the same as
dishes. I got you.
Yeah, it's not the same. You're not gonna know a person even if you're living with them. You understand what I'm saying? But at least you have an idea of what y'all can put up with and not.
Chris, your thoughts on living
You're not
together?
gonna know until you actually did. Some things you will know, but there'll be some things and some habits and some certain situations.
I put it like this: anybody in here that has a job, anybody in here that has a 9-to-5 understands this. The people you work with is not the same as the people that's up underneath you every day at home.
I don't know. I still come back to this thing. I went on another podcast channel, and I said,
Hold on. Actually, hold on to that thought, Simon. Hold on to that thought. Chris, or John, you two said no for living together before marriage, right?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because how much shit do you think? What do you think you really gonna learn about this person? That when you live together, I done seen both ends. Like you you should be able to judge how a person is by spending time with them. There's behaviors that come along with all behaviors.
Oh, like what? The phone rings more when she's not around.
Behaviors that come along with
change their behaviors when they change
I can read a whole fucking person just by watching them in their environment.
But can people change their behaviors when they change their environment? So you can observe one behavior in this environment and they feel like they're different in a different environment, so they change their behavior.
Yeah, that's possible.
Hold on, Chris. What's your outlook? You said you don't believe in people living together before marriage. What's your outlook?
No, as someone who's cohabitating, I wish I had known that before. There are statistics. Typically, the couples don't end up getting married. Yep. Typically, the women are typically really depressed in those types of situations because it's like how much effort do you put into a temp job? Because you kind of know that tomorrow that job could be gone. That's oftentimes how the wives feel, or not wives, how women in cohabitation situations feel. At any moment, this could be gone. I have no sense of security. Really, the security is kind of like little breadcrumbs. You're taking it kind of day by day.
Men too. Don't dismiss it. Men too.
Not true. If not, you're cohabitating because the men are getting all the benefits of a wife. They're sleeping with them. She's probably cooking. She's probably cleaning. He's getting all the benefits with very little risk. very, very little risk. So men love that situation.
It's
They
not
absolutely
little risk when you got
they
resources and money
absolutely
involved.
love, but you're not married to them. So if
It doesn't matter.
Hold on, Carl. Hold on, Carl.
If a man does not marry a woman, there's no risk. There's very, very, very little risk. He could change the locks tomorrow. If he owns the house, he could change the locks tomorrow, kick her out, and there's nothing she can really do. There's nothing. She's not tied to him, anything. There's very, very little risk. And men prefer that. He's able, a lot of times what happens is she gets pregnant, right? So he gets a child, so his DNA won't die with him, right? He gets to carry on to the next generation. He gets to sleep with her. So he doesn't worry about going out and dating and finding someone and getting rejected and rejected and rejected. He almost has consistent, almost like safe, somewhat safe sex the minute he gets home, right? It's very, very comfortable for men. So they don't typically complain about situations like that. But women oftentimes do. And the stats show women don't typically do well. So cohabitating, I'm not shocked that they made that video, but typically women who say things like that, typically they're cohabitating and they're sleeping with those men. So no, from what I've learned, cohabitation is not the way to go. If you desire being married someday, if you don't want to be married someday, then it's not a problem. But it does typically delay marriage for many women because that sense of urgency for the men goes away. Because why would you pay for something that you're getting for free? Why would you put in extra work if it's going to be there no matter what? If you put in the work, it's going to be there. If you don't put in the work, it's still going to be there. So what are you going to choose?
Well, I had the same experience as my mom, and I guess it's rare because that's what y'all going to say. But it wasn't like that for me. You know, it wasn't like that. What? It was the opposite of what she's saying.
You lived together and everything got better?
Within a year, this man was proposed within a year of living together. So, and my mom was the same way, but she put it off just like I did. And you saying that most women get depressed because they never get married, but I've had experiences, my friend have experiences of living with somebody and then getting married. A lot of people live together and get married. So I don't see how they typically don't, because I know a lot of people who've done it. So I don't know. That's
oftentimes what happens is the woman gets pregnant and then they may decide to get married. But it's not being married that makes her depressed. It's the feeling of, it's like the shakiness. It's like the insecurity. Women have described it as feeling like you're in a constant interview, like an interview that never ends, right? So it just kind of feels not secure.
I wanted to interject because I'm listening to you and I didn't want to take away from what you're saying, but at the same token, it seems like you're saying like, woe is the woman. The man, if you notice, there's a growing number of men, like I said a few times before, that are moving in with women. And when you say into the same synopsis that you're saying, the man moves in with the woman and he's paying some bills and he's going to work and he's investing in resources and all that. Just like you said, at any time that woman can cry harassment, change the locks, kick him out, whatever. And now he got to go call his buddy, start all over again. So it's not as simplified, easy for just one side. It's both sides that can go, you know what I'm saying, with the losses, as they say, or the suffering behind it, or, you know.
In that example, I very rarely, like, how often do you see men move into a woman's house and pay all of the bills and cover
There's
everything?
a growing number of men that's doing that.
It's probably a 50-50 situation. So even in that situation, him living with her and only having to cover 50% of his life is still better than him living by himself. And he's still sleeping with her, and he's probably only doing 50% of the things that he would have to do if he married a woman that required more or was by himself, right? When he's living with her, he's only paying gas, she's paying electric, it's her house, so she's probably paying the rent. Maybe he pays 50-50 on the rent, but still, it's still cheaper than him living alone. He's not desiring that sense of security and the sense of needing like a relationship the same way men or women are.
A lot of guys can't even keep up with themselves without her income. So a lot of guys are looking for that 50-50 just so they can survive. And these are guys anywhere from 21 to 51. There's guys in their 50s right now using women for their Section 8, their welfare, whatever the case may be, just so they can survive, because they know they didn't do nothing with their life to collect a pension, Social Security, whatever. They've been hustling. So now, let me get this chick over here so I can fuck on her, pay half the bills, make it seem like I'm doing something. Illusion. That's why I call it a layaway plan. But I have no intentions on marrying this woman.
So who's losing in that situation? The man or the woman?
They both can lose.
Go ahead, John.
I mean, which makes the okay. So I've been listening to this, and ain't nobody really made a convincing argument to where like you have to fucking move in with each other. Like it's the only fucking way. Because it sounds like to me that if it's a transactional situation, you ain't got no business being married. No, shouldn't even be fucking dating. Like, just to be honest with you need to be getting your life together and not even worried about what this broad over here got going on.
I agree.
Because if I'm dating her, I can take her out on 6 dates, 8 dates, and on the fucking 6th or 8th date, make that fucking move, and I ain't never had to live with that motherfucker. Like, ever. Because I'm going to observe the fuck out of her ass. Period. And I'll know exactly what I want. We would already have the important conversations, and I'm gonna base this off of a lot of different things, but you already know where I'm going with this. It's 5 things I'm gonna base it off of, and at Proverbs 31. That's all I need. If she show me that she's that woman, I will move right on in with this. Well, I'll go ahead and marry her, and we can live together at that point. I don't have to fucking live with her first at all, because the person, regardless if you live with them, what are you trying to know? Because the nigga is only gonna let you know what the fuck it is you need to know and what I want you to know. And I don't give a fuck if you live with me. I got secrets, nigga. I can keep them same motherfucking secrets with you sleeping right here, create new motherfucking secrets with you in the other room, nigga. That don't because you in the room with me. That don't mean a goddamn.
But there's a difference, because, like I said, we're living in a world now where, like you just said, people have their own secrets and their own past. You ever had a woman come over and spend the night, y'all have a good time, and she goes home, versus a woman that got keys to the house and she could search through your shit while you're not there?
I don't have to worry about that, because as a man, here's the thing. When I have come to the point to where I'm actually going to commit, like I really am going to commit to this motherfucker, it's several things that happen. One, I get a whole new fucking phone. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. The motherfucking phone got to go. Because there's all kinds of disrespectful shit.
New number and all, huh? New number and everything, huh?
For years. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just disrespectful shit that's probably in the phone, and I'm just gonna get a whole new phone. You feel me? Like, all of that's gotta go. So she can go through whatever the fuck she wanna go through till a little heart is content, because I have erased every fucking thing that might be looking like it's disrespectful to keep around while I'm with us in a committed relationship. It could be like, I'm not gonna have no exes pictures up, none of that other bullshit. It's just not gonna happen. It's not that serious to me. It's not fucking important to me.
So, Doc, you're saying that there's nothing that can come up later. I'm not talking about during the dating stage, going out, whatever. If you make a conscious decision, say, you know what, we're gonna get married tomorrow. There's nothing that could come up. No prior child services cases, no prior mental health cases, no that little tick anything that she did that she didn't do while y'all was dating. There's nothing that's a deal breaker.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Simon, you want to get one last word in?
Yeah. God damn, it's been a real interesting conversation.
That was a question, just so you know.
I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna loop back around to you.
Yeah, you guys enjoy. I'm just saying, I've got to hop out. So I'm just saying peace. I rock with CKQ.
You sound stuck tonight. I don't know what's going on. Normally you're not stuck.
They got a hotel edibles, I believe.
I gotta get on some shit, man. Shit. I'll rock with you guys. I'm gonna rock with you guys.
Awesome. Listen,
I appreciate you.
That was that girl that was visiting, right? Thank God she don't live with you.
You got an 8 Mile road. Go down.
But you enjoy your night, my man. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming on. All right.
Peace out. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so to answer Carl's question, where the hell did Carl go? Oh, okay.
Sorry.
To answer Carl's question, so it's kind of like this. When I go out and I'm dating, like I talk a lot. Like I'm like really interact with this female. Like we don't just sit there. Like my first date, we ain't not going nowhere where we can't engage in conversation. That's the rule. Like I don't do that. I won't ask you nowhere we going. Like a good first date is like a coffee spot. And if y'all ain't fucking noticed, man, I'm trying to quit smoking, bruh, and I ain't had a fucking cigarette since we've been on the show. I ain't had one all fucking day. And I'm about to lose my mind right now, bruh. So to describe the coffee spot was a trigger. But anyway, so like outside bistro is cool. But when I'm with this female, I'm watching several things, right? I'm watching how the fuck she interact with her folks. Her mom, her dad, her brother. If she ain't got a dad. Okay, dad ain't in the family. This is great. Where's your dad? And he ain't dead. Like, do you fuck with him? Nah, I don't fuck with him. Cause see, I know people, people like to be a victim. So I give her an opportunity to be a victim. I want to see how far she gonna go with it. Now,
so you ask the right questions.
Yeah. I mean, if she recover from the victim, if she recover from being a victim, and she get back on track, okay, that's a check. We good.
But is there any deal breakers that after you made a conscious decision?
Nah, not I made a conscious decision to marry her. Fuck no. Because I see the good in anybody. I don't judge nobody. Ain't no fucking choir boy. She ain't getting a motherfucker that's got bodies. She getting a motherfucker that's got all this whole fucking pad that hold his breath. That a nigga who used to hold his fucking breath, for when I had to do a background check. She got a nigga who had to start over and get it out the dirt. You understand? Like she's not getting a fucking choir boy. So I don't expect her to be a fucking choir girl. I'm not gonna hold her to a different standard than I hold myself. Like that's just not gonna happen. So if a nigga come up to me and say she used to be a fucking hooker, well, you got one in on me. You got one fucking in on me.
Ebony, what's your take on that question? Is there anything that, since you don't believe in moving in with each other and all that, is there anything that if you make a conscious decision you're gonna marry that man, is there any deal breaker that will make you say, damn, buyer's remorse? Or
sorry, can you repeat the question?
If you said that you don't believe in that living together
before marriage
interaction, like go from dating to marriage, there's no cohabitation. So if you did a date with a dude and you made a conscious decision that you want to marry that guy, and y'all decide, okay, we get married, and then after y'all got married, you find out XYZ, what that XYZ deal breaker that would make you say, no, we got to get this annulled or we got to get divorced. I'm not putting up with that. What would be your deal breaker?
I don't know. I can't answer that because that's not really how you're supposed to date. Like deal breakers you kind of iron out before. There are extremes, like he ends up being abusive. Like he wasn't abusive when we were dating, but we move in together and he starts beating me. Then yeah, that's a huge deal breaker. But outside of that, you work through it. We have kids and he's beating the kids right down the line. But other than that, you work through it. But to clarify, I think for women that want to be married and want to be in traditional marriages, cohabitating is not the best route to go. You can maybe get married, but I think it's always better to go down the more secure route, which is to not cohabitate. But I'm not saying cohabitation doesn't work for anybody. But if you want the better route, I think not cohabitating is the better option.
Chris, are you cohabitating?
I am cohabitating, yeah. I don't think it's a good option. Huh?
Are you engaged to be married?
Not yet. No. Yeah.
That's why she highly speaks against it.
Yeah.
Because it's
I
a
don't
lot.
recommend it.
It shows more convenience than true intentions. That's a better word for it. You know what I'm saying? The consistency of saying, okay, this is what it's one thing to say what you want, and it's another thing when you're not following up behind it in your actions, in your day-to-day. You get what I'm saying? There's no what I call upgrade. And that's what I meant earlier when I said people would extend this 2 years, 5 years. You have kids with the person, y'all living together, and there's no marriage nowhere in sight. This went on and on because people don't put a cap on it. Me growing up, I remember that, like with my ex-fiance before she died, it was the same thing. Yeah, we slept on the first date. We was together 3-4 months. She gave me the key, let myself in when I got off from work in the morning. And this went on for a while. But see, my cap was, okay, it's 2-3 years. That's enough time. I proposed. She was the one that was scared and nervous and all that. So I backed off a little bit. We still stayed together, living together, but I asked again and she accepted. So this is what I'm saying. You have to take responsibility. If you're really trying to get married, if you really want to upgrade and not just stay at a stand still in a relationship, you got to put a cap on that, man. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, something.
You were just saying that most guys are going to move in out of convenience because she can pay half the bills, blah, 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 this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're really going to expect that same man that's moving that way out of convenience to also somehow magically step up now to say, hey, we've been living together this long. I'm now going to get on one knee and ask her. Most of the time, it's not going to go that way.
But that's why I'm saying the female have to put a cap on it.
The guy's getting way too much out of living. He's living with a wife already without having to go through the state.
But she got the control to put a cap on it and say, listen, we can do this song and dance, but you got up to a year, bro. If I don't see a ring on my finger in a year or two, you're out of here. You got to put a cap on it.
What are we doing? Like you can't just be living together forever.
But now, okay, so fair enough. I can say that I would agree with that. But now look at the dynamic that you're now starting a marriage with. Hey, if we're living together and it's been a year and we're not gonna get married, we're calling it. I'm calling it quits.
Yeah.
Now there's a clock in place as opposed to, hey, listen, we can only live together if we're married. So whenever he decides to, okay, I'm just gonna marry her, and then we could finally get to that next step. Either that or we're just gonna stop seeing each other. Like I think those are the rules that need to come back. You're saying
they do.
Got it wrong. I think
I agree.
Is that we all started moving in together before anything serious actually happened.
That's what I was saying about we forgot about traditions.
But
we
why
forgot all about that.
Moving with each other. Why do y'all think?
What's that?
Why did y'all think that we just had to start moving in with each other instead of just living separately and dating?
To see how far we can take it in a convenient way.
People economics,
I think we value marriage less.
Yes.
No,
we don't care much for marriage.
I think it has to do with economics.
That's why I bring up DMX all the time.
Because it's way cheaper for people to cohabitate than to pay bills on your own.
Man, listen, maybe them young weak ass niggas is like that, but I'm talking about the main reason a toxic ass nigga trying to get you to hurry up and move in with him is so he can have his fucking eye on you, nigga. So he know where the fuck you moving at, nigga. That's the only fucking reason. That's the only fucking reason. It ain't no other fucking reason. It's because of an insecurity. There ain't no other fucking reason. The nigga is making progress though, because he willing to let you have that same eye on his damn ass. You feel me?
Or you replace his mother.
He don't want shit to do with you and all that. You like, nah, fool, you kick it at your spot. I'm gonna be at my place.
Everybody experience ain't gonna be my experience because both people that I live with proposed to me within the year. So everybody experience ain't gonna be like that. So, and I've had other people who I've known experience.
And a lot of women's experience aren't gonna be yours. A lot.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. But them two niggas that proposed to you, you never damn married them.
Yes, I did. I married the second one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about his ass. Yeah, but how long would you live with him?
Married. How you gonna forget?
Nah, I was thinking. You know what I was thinking? I ain't finna but it was that guy. I thought anyway. That's a conversation for me and you when we talk on our own. But you know what the fuck I'm saying. I forgot Jason was the other. I just said his name all out loud and shit.
Man.
I am slipping. I'm just too comfortable any fucking way.
I'm gonna stick on that cap thing because, like I said, male or female doesn't matter. If you're a woman looking for that stability, that husband that settled down, I don't give a damn how much money he got, what he says out of his mouth. I don't care how good his dick is. Tell that nigga, you got a clock. If you don't do it within that clock, I'm ghost. It doesn't matter.
Why even put yourself as a woman? Why it doesn't make sense to put yourself into that situation just to now put a timer on it?
You have to.
We know women are far more emotional, so you don't think she's gonna get emotionally attached, and then that year marker comes, he doesn't pull the trigger. You think what? She's just gonna say, "Oh, I'm just gonna up and leave." No, chances are most women are gonna sit through that, and they're gonna get pissy about it, and he's probably gonna schmooze her over. And then it's 2 more years, 5 more years, 10 years down the line, 13 years. Now she's just thinking, I've invested way too much time.
Okay.
Because you got guys out here pacifying motherfucking chicks with that engagement ring.
No, but what he said, I've actually seen that happen.
It happens a lot.
And then they was together for about 15 years, broke up. And then when he moved on to the next person, they got married within 6 months of meeting that person. But he moved in with her first.
Convenience. Like you said. It was a convenience.
They didn't live separate. He left her house and went to the other lady's house and then married her within.
Yo, thanks for filling in the gap for the time being.
Can I ask a question, Neat? Was that woman, was she paying, were they 50-50 or was she paying a majority of expenses? Or was he providing?
I think they were 50-50, but his wife that he moved on to, she owned everything. He owned nothing.
She had more money.
I do think there's a certain. I haven't. Never mind.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Say it.
Yeah.
She had more money, and she was easily manipulated than the first one.
No, Chris was gonna say something.
I think that situation is typically more common with men that are more dependent than independent.
Of course.
You know, so the first woman that's going to give them the easiest life is the woman that they're going to end up being with because it's easy at that point. She's like, yeah, I'll marry you. You're going to have to cover everything. Marrying her again, they're going to that risk. There's no risk. He doesn't have to pay anything. He's not really giving up much. He's like, well, I live by myself. I pay 100% of the expenses. But if I marry her, we're going to split everything 50-50. I don't have to pay as much. I would just sit around, be a bit more passive, and all of that good stuff. Like I don't really think most like traditional men.
But don't you think that's
end up
about
in a situation
of black people's situations?
Say that
because
again.
they don't value marriage. I do, but I think it's because they don't value marriage anymore.
No, I mean financially. It's because financially.
It's not because of finance. It's not because of finance. It's simply the fact. It's not fully because of finance. You could get married and have the same benefits. That's the thing. Marry the person, and then you combine, you consolidate everything. It's always better off. You're better off getting married than not getting married. So it's not for finances. It's not. You're two single people living in the same house. Half the time, you do not benefit that much economically. Living together, yeah, you're splitting rent, but typically, when you look at grand scheme, you don't.
It depends on variables if they got kids with each other, or he has kids, or she has kids prior to them being together. It's a whole. It depends on who owes child support.
If we're just talking about the two basic standard, no kids yet, two regular people.
Okay.
Nah,
maybe one is still legally married somewhere, and then tell the other.
Keep throwing these variables. I mean,
it's because there's a lot of variables that can pop up that can apply in the black community that is very common.
Nigga, them babies somewhere else is pretty fucking common.
Come on.
But the thing is,
Like,
Hispanics
real
are in a very
common.
similar group. Hispanics are in a very, very similar group, and they're
They
still
pretty
getting married.
common.
They're still getting married at faster rates. Hispanics typically don't cohabitate because traditionally, morally, it's not accepted in their culture. And
Yep.
they are in very similar positions as Black Americans. So
Yep.
it doesn't have that much to do with finances. If people truly cared about their finances, they would get married. The reason why they do is because we do not require marriage. Women will have a baby with a man and not be married to him simply because she wants a baby or simply because she thinks that's
Yeah.
what's going to keep him or whatever it is.
Yeah.
We do not, as a culture, value marriage the way that other people do. It's not a requirement.
I
right?
1,000% agree.
Yeah, because it like you know, you got cultures that the fathers want to fucking know what are your intentions with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I wish
they're
we'd go
looking
back to
at it
that.
like this, bro. They looking at it like this. You're not finna put all these fucking miles on my daughter's ass, fuck around and give her a fucking kid, and then you ain't gonna do right by her. You got me fucked up. So if you don't have marriageable intentions, she needs to tread lightly going places with you. And her brother needs to come along most of the time. There's no fucking way I'm finna let my baby girl get her womb invaded, and then she out here running around in these goddamn streets because you don't want to marry her, and now she forced another nigga to fucking raise your baby because you don't want to step up. All you want to do is hit them draws.
And then there's a trust and vulnerability issue in this as well. That I'm gonna play devil's advocate. She's good enough to sleep with.
But
She's
she ain't
good
good
enough
to marry.
But she ain't good enough where let me put it this way. Do I trust her with everything I have? How do I know she ain't gonna flip? How do I know she ain't gonna poison the food just to get that life insurance money? It's a whole lot of other variables with that.
That sounds way more like trust issues, bro.
That is. That's what I was gonna say.
No, that
fear.
Trust does play a part because we already know in our Black community today, especially this new generation,
It's good enough to sleep, but you can't. You're gonna think about
Listen,
you.
You've seen this 1,000 times. You know how hard it is to get Black people vulnerable today? Vulnerability is more protected than people and their children. They protect their vulnerability more than they protect their children.
But you know what's sad about today's? Statistically speaking, is all I'm saying. Statistically speaking, you have a greater chance of having a successful marriage if you just flip the fucking coin between the first motherfucking woman that you was attracted to and met and just married that bitch, that y'all would stay married longer than the average motherfucker stay married now. That's sick. That is fucking sick. And with that being said, statistically, you can fucking work all the math out. The divorce rate is so fucking high that you have a fucking better chance of fucking flipping a coin and marrying the first motherfucker who you meet that you're attracted to, and that she ain't got to be fully attracted to you, just somewhat fucking attracted to you. Flipping the fucking coin and marrying that motherfucker. Heads you marry her, tails you don't. In that situation, and you fucking go forward with it, you will have a better chance statistically to last longer than the average motherfucking marriage now. That's fucking crazy. That now, so with that being said, it don't fucking matter if you live with her.
I mean, you got celebrities doing no different than what we're talking about. The celebrities do it the same way.
Yeah,
Michael B. Jordan did it. DMX did. They had their woman. They had their sex. They had their good times. Some of them even had kids. But I don't trust you enough, or I don't want you to have say so over everything that I've earned and everything I have. Because legally, as my wife, you got open access.
Get a prenup and define her rules. Define it.
Man, you know that shuts a whole lot of shit down.
The divorce.
You need Jesus. You need Jesus. That's what it is. All right.
Can I add something, Clement?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think what's difficult about these conversations is that, like, the idea isn't so okay. The question is, if someone came to you and they're dating someone and they ask you, would you recommend that I move in with them before we're married? And you know what this person's goals are in life. would you, based on what you know, once you learn that the success rates of people that get married after they cohabitate, would you encourage them to do the same thing? I think so often we live, and Miss Rosa said it, like we live by the exception, and we think, oh well, like I could end up married and I'm cohabitating, but then would I get married and encourage other women to then cohabitate? The answer is no, I wouldn't, because I know that that may not be their outcome, and I know that the chance of it being their outcome is slim. So I would tell them, I would encourage you to take this route because it may give you the results that you're hoping for. And I think,
but are you giving that influence based upon what you went through?
Let me finish.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I apologize for my tone, but you cut me off quite a bit.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I forgot what I was going with that now.
But
what I'm trying to say, it's okay. But the idea is, and I can answer your question. Is it based on my experience? Not 100% based on my experience, because I really love my relationship. It's a great, healthy relationship. But it's based on what I've seen, so other people's experiences, but it's mostly based on statistics and what I know, and like generally over the population, right? Taking a large sample size across the population, what are women saying? Like I said, I think that I'm much closer to marriage than a lot of other women, but that may not be the case for other women. So I'm not going to encourage them to do something that may most likely cause them to be in situations where they're 35 with a man. He's never married them, right? They've never had a kid because they're waiting to get married to have children, or whatever the case may be, but they're literally wasting away in a relationship that's never going to give them the outcome that they truly hope for. So I think that's more like, are you going to allow someone to take that risk when you know that there's a much better, probably more secure, safer path for them to take? May not end in marriage, but it may get them closer than cohabitating. And that's where we lose. We're like, well, I did it. It worked for me, so you go ahead and try it. But instead, you should be like, maybe it's not the best option. This would have been a better route for me to take.
Agreed. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys, because we are past the 2-hour mark, and I'd like to close out the show. But Tak, I'm going to bring you up. Just mute yourself for a second real quick. Okay. Unmute. Tak.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it sounds good. I think you were getting it's like fan or something going on in the back.
That's an air conditioner. I'm gonna blame it on that.
Okay.
All right.
I also hear myself every time I talk. Do that again? I'm still hearing myself.
I hear him loud and clear.
Okay.
Can I go ahead and talk? Oh.
There we go. I still get an echo, but it's not too bad. We're gonna close out the show either way, though.
All right. I want to comment real quick on. All right, go ahead.
Can you lower your volume if possible?
Oh, I thought you couldn't. Okay.
No, you're.
What about now?
We can hear you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, I don't have anything planned or anything. Okay. No, I just wanted to say when I was like 27 with my first daughter, her mom, we was living together. And her mom came home one day. I knew something was going to be up because she started going to church a lot, right? And she came home one day and she was like, we got to talk, And, I knew her because she was going too consistent. I'm like, all right, something going on here, something different. And she was like, I want to get married, Talk. I don't want to keep playing house. We've been doing this for a few years, this, that, and that. But I didn't want to get married, I didn't even get with her to get married, right? And so she left me, right? 2 years later, man, like 2.5 years later, she was married, man. So I'm just letting you know, like, what the brother was saying, what Carl was saying, what all of you guys were saying, it goes down. It goes down, And she might have been the one that got away. But like I said, I wasn't looking to get married anyway. But when the woman put that cap on, when a woman make a decision, man, it's just tough. And she made that. She told me, though. She asked me. She said, I want to get married. So, but anyway, that was it. I just wanted to add to that.
All right.
Because I experienced that whole, what Carl was talking about, I experienced that in my 20s. And she meant that. And 2.5 years later, she was walking down the aisle with her husband.
She wanted me married.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to close it out now. Chris, any last word?
Oh, there's an echo. Okay, there we go. This was a really good show. And thanks, Clement. My last words would be, there's always a better way. There's always, you can always do a little bit more. You can always put in a little bit more effort and get the results that you're hoping for. And I think that it's important that we think about the best path to get to where we want to go. You know, even though it may not be the path that's typically followed, right? It may not be the most common path. It may be the one that gives you exactly what you need. And yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Thanks.
Carl?
Like I was trying to say, basically, life is short, and you cannot allow people to take up your time that you have on this earth. Either they shit or get off the potty. And the short cohabitation, in my opinion, is based upon just to understand each other's patterns, habits, secrets, and so forth, and to make sure that the marriage would work based upon the little training session y'all had living with each other. So I wouldn't go against it. I think it should be done. And especially if you got kids, you definitely need to do that. Family orientation and other things too. But it's something that people need to put a cap on and not extend it to their benefits of convenience and roommating shortcuts. So.
Okay, dope. John or Unique, if one of you are there. Unique, final thoughts?
Final thoughts are the same as it's kind of like this. A little bit of what Ebony was saying about how if you do better, then you'll get a little bit better, because in this universe you get who you are. So if you want better, then you'll do better. So I feel like it's never a mistake. Wherever you meet somebody, wherever in their life that you meet them, it was not by accident, because whatever that was drawn to them by you, it's something that you need to learn about yourself, or something you may need to heal about yourself, or something you may be surprised about with yourself just with meeting that person and interacting with that person. So I feel like there's no surprises. So whoever you are, that's who you get. So you can question, you can grill, you can do all of this before you move in. But to me, that test is when you actually in there. And you have to put a cap, like he said, like you have to talk about it. You have to constantly be like, this is what we're working on. Okay, well, did you find a place? All right, so what's the next step? Like, you gotta be proactive in that if that's what you want when you're living with somebody. And if that's not gonna happen, then you move out. And I've had other friends who was with somebody from college. One of my three married ladies' opinions. She was with him from college, married him, but they moved in together first for a year. And she said, that's it. After, we're not getting married, then I might as well leave. And he proposed and they got married. They've been married for over 20-something years. So sometimes, it works out. Not just for me.
Okay.
That's my final thought.
That was good. I like that. Doctor.
So my final thoughts about this particular situation is simple. knowing how to pick the person that you want to be with is key and essential to all of this, because living with them is not a part of choosing them. And if you think it is, then oh well. That's on you. But Proverbs 31 verse 1 all the way to the end, that is how you pick a woman. Like, period. There's no other way to pick a woman. She describes exactly what the fuck she's supposed to be right there. It describes her. And if your soon-to-be wife is not hitting on those points, you probably need to keep looking, because she's not your virtuous woman. She's not a virtuous woman, because that woman actually goes out and works. That woman cares about her home. That woman is a team player. That woman is willing to never do you harm ever. That woman is willing to make sure that your name rings positively amongst the elders in the village. That means that she's not doing anything, or nor would she do anything that's going to embarrass you and bring disrespect to you or your family or herself. She's a respectful woman. And I'm sorry, but I don't have to live with a virtuous woman and know that this motherfucker is virtuous. All I gotta do is be in her presence and allow her to be in her essence. And that's all I gotta say about that.
Actions speak for himself. Shout out to everything that everyone said. Mic drop to you guys. It's been amazing. It has been an amazing show. So we're gonna close it out in our usual fashion. We got Chris.
Hi everyone, I was getting so dark in here, sorry. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this show as much as I did. My name is Chris. I do have an Instagram. You can follow me at The Blooming Ebony. And I also have a YouTube channel called The Blooming Ebony as well. And I'm here every Tuesday. Please like, comment, and subscribe to CKQ Podcasts. And I hope to see you here next week. Have a great night and happy blooming.
We got the doctor.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You can find me always every Tuesday here on CKQ Podcast. Same time, same place. Click the like button, share. I do have an IG, behavior_consultant at IG. So you can hit me up there. But your best bet, if you really want to have a conversation, is to just chime in here on Tuesdays. Peace.
You got Unique. The lovely, beautiful skinned Unique. She's muted, so.
That's muted.
Oh. I said, oh, thank you very much. Wow, that's nice. Appreciate it. I am Neek is the Night at 3 Married Ladies Opinions on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We have a Twitter page and we have a Twitch page. And on Twitter, we're like 3 ladies _married or something. Anyway, so I know last Thursday I missed, but please tune in this Thursday, and anybody could just come and talk about relationships. We coming back, 3 Married Ladies Opinions, Instagram Live, and make sure you come back next Tuesday to CKQ Podcast. I had a nice time, y'all. Thank you for all the compliments.
Carl.
Yo, call Chef on Instagram. Like I said, life is short. Make the best of it. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. And please value time. Time is something you can't buy. You can't get it back. Please.
That is fact. I love that. Last but not least, we got Tack Williams.
Yeah, man. It's your boy Tack Williams. They keep calling me Tack. I don't know why they keep doing that.
I'm sorry. Hey, we
it's
went
your boy
over
Tack
it.
Williams. And you can find me on YouTube, TAK, skip a space Williams. Man, I have all types of different content. Day trading, drones, whatever, man. I just put it up there. So come through if you find some content you like seeing. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll return the favor, whatever like that. But other than that, this has been a great show. I love getting the different perspectives of people based on their knowledge and understanding now, as well as people sharing their backstory, you know, how it went for them. And there's value in being anecdotal. There's also value in the empirical, the tangible. And I just think that on the CKQ podcast, what we try to do is pour in on each other or pour into each other. So it's all good. Get over to this podcast, CKQ podcast, subscribe, and you know, get with us, man. Yep, that's it.
I love the sound of that. It's been a fantastic show, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button to this channel for more content like this. Every now and then we'll be sprinkling in a little 30-minute sections with different people from the show or different people that I find they have very interesting or different views. But we do things like this, and I really appreciate everyone's view that's been on the panel. Love all you guys, and thank you all for coming out tonight and having different views and having a good conversation. So if you got nothing else to say, it has been a great night, and we will see you all next Tuesday.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
If we're doing everything right, I think we should be vetting our wives, like go to their parents, go to their fathers.
They know they shouldn't have let me start speaking my mind in the booth, start speaking the truth. Might get shot.
I think you're just saying, okay, actions have consequences, and I'm not going to support this person's actions. Like, you don't have to cancel them and say, like, I hate you.
Innocent lives have to die.
But the whole thing is men are I also. That man was on the other side doing the exact same thing, and his decision with his eyes was to walk away.
Inside your soul.
Now we can paint the perfect picture without belittling each other, because under God's system,
we are equipped to handle that responsibility, but not every man is fit to handle that responsibility.
I done seen Flint, Michigan,
and it's just being
cities. They pissing in project buildings that got a roof that leaks, resulting in missing ceilings. Hard to sleep. Children going to schools dealing issues deep.
So I think society does make it more difficult for short men, but I don't think that it's impossible that they could find someone.
And instructing you to do your part. It ain't hard to see they trying to keep black in the back, just like Rosa Parks. Cops shooting blacks as if they get a token from God. School rob you with needed resources.
Is the weaker vessel and the more vulnerable.
Absolutely. 100%.
You don't look at the man like, oh, poor son, you were violated. No, you like, bruh.
And nobody.
They shift my stick like some cars. And when you're lonely in your darkest thoughts, come, I know it's hard, but God shines his light on all I play their part. And it's the start.
Put myself in a situation where I can only rely on a man. Like if I'm married and being a stay-at-home mom, I need to have a backup in case anything happens. I can't only rely on him. You know what I'm saying?
A flower will grow once you plant the seed inside your soul.
Poet, and the best part of me shows it. Here to speak the message of what is known, but not what it takes, expose it. Listen closer as I take you on a mental path. See divisions, the math, hoping we clash on lower levels, just like in the past. Before we begin to see spared lives, keep in mind the first 3 letters of unity starts with you and I. And maybe then we can all thrive, changing the narratives of our lives, finding belief from inside. We gotta come together, different feathers, and we fly together, despite any weather, evolving up forward just like propellers, using